on Amazon.
Oh,
Absolutely,
that's next for me.
absolutely the best show I've seen this year. Probably like in
Awesome.
a couple years. Like,
Awesome.
even if you've never played the games, I think that you'll like it. But like, I loved the games, and I was really concerned that they were going to fuck up the tone of that show, because the tone is crucial to the whole thing.
Oh my God.
And they nailed it on every fucking level. The casting is fantastic. They kind of, to your point about the CGI stuff, like they used some of that, but a lot of what they did was actually like practical effects. Like,
yeah, that's great.
Like they went to certain locations, to get some of the expanse of, like they went to Nairobi or something, I think, to shoot some of the stuff to kind of like look like the wasteland and kind of like, a desert. And they did more practical effects for other things too. So I think you'll like it. It's really, really good.
Awesome. That's great. I want to watch it so bad. I have an ambient experience of Fallout because both of my boys played it a ton, and I just loved hearing it being played. Obviously the music, but also just everything. The music's unbelievable. It's just
and they nailed it. It was one of those things. I was optimistic, especially when I saw their installation at South by Southwest, which was a really, really good installation. Like they recreated like the wasteland, and they kind of had like a carnival sort of experience. And they had actors hired to kind of play, denizens, in the TV show, and kind of world. And I was impressed enough with how that was, because it was clearly a very expensive installation, and it was something that worked really well. But I was like, okay, if they put enough into this, the thought just for this, I'm hopeful, especially, after we've seen some of the previews, that the show will be good. But then Amazon did stupid shit. Like they kept changing the release date. They wound up, moving it up a few days, and then they released all the episodes at once. And so that makes you think, okay, well, are they trying to burn this off? And no, they weren't. The reviews were universally like incredibly positive. And then, which like, people were comparing it, to The Last of Us. And I think
which I haven't watched,
which is great, but that's a much easier thing to adapt, in my opinion, because that was a game that was basically designed like a prestige TV series, whereas Fallout, because it's self-determined, they had to create whole new characters, but to still live kind of in that universe. And then you have to nail the tone. The tone is a much harder thing to nail in Fallout. And so the stakes, in my opinion, were a lot higher. But I was hopeful. I was like, okay, well, the Westworld people are behind this, and like, the actors they got involved were good, and I was hopeful. But you never know, right? Like video game adaptations are usually awful,
or that it's a good chance it's going to suck.
Correct. And in this case, and then when they drop it all at once, you're like, okay, well, do you not believe in this? And then no, it was fantastic, and it's like broken all kinds of Amazon records, and they've already renewed it for a second season. But the only thing I think that Amazon fucked up with that was that they'd released it like week to week. Like I think that a lot more conversation would have built about it. Yeah. So anyway.
Cat in the